After listening to this session, you will get a clear idea about what are the things in IoT, characteristics of IoT, and the completion of the fundamental aspects of IoT. First, what is the thing in Internet of Things? Things can refer to any device. At times, you, me are also qualified to be the things. Anything that has to be qualified as a thing must have an identity, which means an address. If you have an address, well, you can come into the loop and you can be called a thing. What I could try to conclude is anything which has an address can be qualified as a thing in Internet of Things. The thing can measure or monitor. A temperature sensor, pressure sensor, humidity sensor, anything could be a thing. Things can exchange data with all other connected devices in the infrastructure. In the right hand side, you can see that a mobile phone, a shoe, a table fan, a car, a computer, an aeroplane, a basket, all these can get qualified to be a thing in the Internet of Things provided they all have an identity. And to get something as things in the loop, you need to just have an address for it. That is the point that you should remember. Popular IoT things which you are already aware of, the temperature sensor, pressure sensor, humidity sensor, and for that matter, any sensor that you know can be called as a thing. The data from all these sensors are acquired, collected in real time, and are sent to the cloud or the local server. Now you need to know what is real time. Real time is nothing but logical correctness of the operation within a deterministic deadline. The deadline cannot be crossed in any real time applications. That's what we call as real time. And then after the data is acquired, the analysis stage has to start. Based on the data analysis, then the control action would be taken. Switching off the water heater remotely when the water is heated as per the optimum temperature requirements is one of the simple examples that I can give you right now. Not just sensors, there are many other things which can be qualified as things in IoT. The industrial motors, the shoes, wearables, vehicles, and whatnot, you and me also are included in the list. Some more examples for you to get clear understanding about what all can be qualified as things. Heart monitoring implants. Pacemaker is the best example. A biochip transponder in the animal is an example. Automobiles with built-in sensors. Food, perishables, quality monitoring is a simple example. So the things can be hardware plus software plus data plus service. All these together gets things. And most importantly, all of the things that you call as things in IoT must have an identity. Don't forget, without identity, they cannot be called things. One example we will take right now to get this understanding to the next level. What can be the things in the home automation? Control and automation of lighting, heating, which means smart thermostat, the ventilation, air conditioning, appliances such as the washer, dryers, air purifiers, microwave ovens, or refrigerators, all these can get qualified to be called as things, and all these come under Internet of Things. The next topic that we are going to discuss is very important, and at the same time, this will enable you to understand IoT better. Characteristics of IoT. What are all the fundamental characteristics that one can expect from any IoT application? We will see about it one by one with some examples wherever possible. The first characteristic is intelligence and identity. When you have data, analyzing the data is most important than just acquiring the data. Keeping this point in mind, we should understand this point. The extraction of knowledge from the generated data is more than important. Sensors produce data that needs proper interpretation. Each IoT device has a unique IP address or some other address which acts in tracking the equipment and at times to query the status as well. I need to identify the equipment. I need to understand the data. Both are important, and in any application, if you miss these two, they cannot get qualified as an IoT application. For you to build a stable IoT application, you need to embed intelligence into it, as well as identity should not be missed. Intelligence should be there to understand the data. Identity should be there to identify the equipment. The next point is connectivity. Things in IoT should be connected to the infrastructure anytime. Anyone, anywhere, anytime is the fundamental characteristic of IoT. So connectivity must be guaranteed in IoT infrastructure all the time. Without connection, nothing makes sense in IoT. I'll give you an example here. Assume that we have an IoT application which monitors the leakage in the oil pipe. The connectivity should be there all time. If connectivity is missed for say about 2 minutes, and in that time if there is a leakage reported, it might not be identified and it might not be notified to the concerned authority real time. So this could lead to disastrous accidents. When you talk about IoT, you need connectivity. Without connectivity, it doesn't make sense. The next point is scalability. The number of things getting connected to IoT infrastructure is ever increasing. Hence, the IoT setup should be capable to handle this massive expansion, as well as, in case we need, it should also handle the reduction. The scalability should be in the upper side as well as in the lower side. It should expand, it should also permit you to remove devices out of the infrastructure. I'll give you an example. Assume that you have an office environment where you have got 100 people sitting and the entire lighting and the fans are automated. Based on the number of persons, the lights and fans will automatically get switched on, and this is controlled through IoT. Now, the first person comes into the office and he sits in one of the chairs. So, which fan and which light will glow right now? It will be only his fan and his light above his head will glow and run. So the point is, rest of the fans and lights will remain intact and they won't run. Assume that 10 people are coming in right now. Only 10 fans and 10 lights are expected to run and glow. Similar is the case for 100. This is called scalability. I should scale up or down based on requirement. Architecture. The next characteristic that we need to understand is the architecture. IoT can never be homogeneous. It should be hybrid, supporting different manufacturers' products to be inside the network. What do you mean by this? I'll explain. The microprocessor can be made by one person. The computers can be made by another manufacturer. The network support could be given by another network provider. The routers and other things could be made by another manufacturer. They need not all be made by a single producer. It is all permitted for anyone to bring in any sort of equipment to be added into the IoT's loop. It is 100% heterogeneous and it cannot be homogeneous is the point. The next point, dynamic and self-adapting. The IoT devices should dynamically adapt itself to the changing context. Assume a camera which is meant for surveillance. It has to work in different conditions such as day, night, afternoon and different lighting conditions. It should adapt itself to all these conditions and it should not require any manual intervention there to work. Next point is safety. This is most important point and there should not be any compromise. Having got all the things connected to the internet, the personal data is all under threat. Hence, securing the data is a significant challenge. This not only applies to the data security, but also the equipment getting involved in the IoT network is enormous. Therefore, the personal security is also a matter of concern. You need to be careful first and you should be protected first. Then you can protect the data. So personal safety, privacy, and then the data security is the order in which the safety view is concerned. We have clarified about the fundamentals here. We have clarified about the fundamentals very clearly in this session. Followed by that, we had a discussion about the characteristics of IoT. I hope you understood the characteristics pretty clearly. We will go about more technical stuff in the next session. Thank you.